As I sit here on this sunny but windy day, I wonder, is it spring or is it winter? Because I keep on hearing people say that, oh my goodness, it's so cold outside. But I wonder if it's, well, I mean, I hear the wind through the window. So, like, I know it's windy. Let's see what the weather app has to say about this. 34 degrees and sunny. Feels like 22. My goodness. I guess it is cold. It feels below freezing, so yeah, it's cold. And the wind goes crazy. 19 miles per hour. I might as well be a newscaster. Wait, a weather woman? Hmm. No, I don't like I love clouds, but not enough to become a meteorologist. That's the word that I was looking for. I was like, I know there's a big word that has to to do with what I'm saying, but it wasn't coming to mind until then. Shout out to my brain for doing her thing. To be a meteorologist in this day and age, I don't know, everyone seems to not everyone, but a lot of people tend to get upset with the news, especially as of lately. Like I'll hear people say like, "Oh, I heard that it's supposed to rain today and then be warm, but it ends up raining all day." It's like, "Oh, they're lying to us." No, they're doing the best they can. Global warming has made weather unpredictable and very extreme because what do you mean it was like 60 degrees last week and now it feels like 22? What the hell is going on here? Um, or do you think that they're actually lying to us on purpose just to fuck with us because they can? That would be lying. Like, I mean, yeah, it would be lying. Like, are they actually lying to us for real? Or like the earth is just that fucked up, trying to fix itself, trying to regenerate, maybe? I don't know. Trying to wipe us off the planet so the earth can just recoup itself. Do you think that's possible? I don't know. Just a thought, just a passing thought is all. I'm like starting to get a little too deep into this now. I don't know. Extreme heat, extreme cold. The earth was fine before we were all here. I mean, 100 years ago was a totally different set of people. The earth was a totally different way. Both like damn, I wonder if my mic caught that because my stomach just let out such a long growl. I was gonna say it's not even funny, but it did make me giggle. So it's a little silly to me. But my body's like, damn, bitch, you ain't get the hint. It's time to eat. And here I am talking about the weather. It's alright. But anyway, as I was saying, the earth was fine before we were here, we being like the people that are living and existing on here currently. Let's go back 150 years because there are people who are over 100 years old, or even 200 years. The earth was doing her thing then. She's doing her thing now, and she will continue to exist until shown otherwise. Like, I don't know. Would the planet, or could the planet implode on itself eventually? Perhaps. I'm like a little reluctant to think about this, to ponder this, because it's like, wow, that's kind of scary to think about. Like, you wouldn't even know what was happening. Things would just start happening. And it'd be a little bit scary, no? Or am I just a scary cat? I think like the earth self-destructing is scary. What's wrong with that? I ask myself. But how would you even know that it's self-destructing? Do you think it would be like an instinct? Like something's wrong here. Something is not right. Or do you think it would just be our minds dramatizing things? Like it's the end of the world is imploding, the world is self-destructing. I don't know. Will we ever know? Not until that day possibly comes. It's a possibility, but how soon could that possibility occur? Another unknown question. Anyway, I don't know why I ask myself questions that I can't answer. But sometimes it's a little like interesting to think about. Like shoulda, coulda, woulda type beat. I don't know if it makes sense. This is just me. This is just me yapping, thinking to myself, talking to myself. Anyway, with that being said, let's get on with the intro, shall we? Hello, 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 and welcome to Kaylin's Corner. I'm your host, Kaylin, and this is my corner of the internet, where I talk about anything and everything that comes to mind. Thank you for joining me, and I hope this finds you well. If you're not doing well, I hope you get well soon, because sometimes all is not well in Waffleville, and we just have those days. But remember, after the storm is when the flowers bloom. That was the first thing that came to mind, and I just had to say it aloud. I don't know. It's such a good song. After the Storm. Is it by, I think it's by Caliucci's featuring Tyler the Creator. Or is it the other way around? I just know that both. My stomach is mad as hell, y'all. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. It is Caliucci's song with Tyler the Creator. Oh, and Bootsy Collins. 'Cause after the storms, when the flowers bloom. Speaking of flowers, I cannot wait for the flowers to bloom this springtime. I'm so excited to see them and to take pictures of them because I love flowers. They're just so pretty, especially like out. I was going to say out in the wild, but like out in nature, on trees, on the ground, everywhere. There's just something so peaceful and serene about them. At least to me. I don't know. You can think otherwise. Some people, I don't know how you can hate on flowers, but go off, I guess. Although, I do have an unpopular opinion on flowers. At least, okay, so for roses specifically, I love the way they look. They're beautiful, they're gorgeous, gorgeous girls, but I'm not a big fan of their scent. Like, of the flowers themselves and like rose scented things, like perfumes and I don't know, body oils, whatever things that have the scent of rose in them. I can't do it. It's too, like, I don't know. I was gonna say too earthy, but I like an earthy scent every now and then. But there's just something about the smell of roses that kind of turns me off, I guess you can say. She's just not for me. And you know what? That's okay, because not everything is for everyone. If we all liked the same things, no one would be original. But there's this flower that I love the scent of. To me, it kind of smells like soap to me. I don't remember what it's called, but they're purple flowers that grow in like big clusters, like kind of bulbous clusters. And the way that they look on the branch, it kind of reminds me of the hair of like a Who from Whoville, specifically in The Grinch, like the original one. I can't remember the name of the flowers, but let's see. Purple jeans, girl. Let's see. Google come in clutch for me. What if I do like purple flower bush? I think. Is it lilacs? Hold on. No, I don't think it's lilacs. Oh, wait a minute. I think. Yes, they are lilacs. I love the smell of lilacs. Like fresh off the flower. My grandma used to have a lilac bush or tree growing front yard of her house, and I used to love going outside and smelling the flowers. I have some pictures of the lilacs, I'm sure. Yes, they're so pretty. They're so pretty. And they smell so good. She used to have a lilac bush, tree, whatever it is, growing in the front yard of her house. And so I have like a lot of memories intertwined with said flowers. But so maybe that just adds to my love for them. But like truly, I do think they smell really good. So there's that. But they're so pretty. And like the way that they grow, I think is kind of funky too. I don't know. Is it a who from Grinch? Or should I? Well, let's see. Ah, nah. Kinda not really. 'Cause after the storms, when the flowers bloom. I don't think the Who's were who I was thinking of. Who from Grinch? Oh, maybe a little bit in the yeah, Cindy Lou. Bro, those hairstyles in the live action Grinch go crazy for real. But the Grinch is such a classic. Shout out to Jim Carrey. We love Jim Carrey in this house. It's okay if you don't. You don't have to. No one's gonna force you. No one's gonna peer pressure you into loving Jim Carrey. But I think Jim Carrey has some pretty good work out there. Like, well, the first movies that come to mind are The Grinch, The Mask, Me, Myself, and Irene. Other movies. Goodness. He's in a lot. He's in Dumb and Dumber. How could I forget? Yeah, shout out to Jim Carrey. I forgot he was in Sonic too. Stop playing with him. I haven't watched Sonic though. But yeah, I wanted to call it a discography, but it's not called a discography. That's for music. But his roster goes crazy. His roster goes crazy. I haven't seen this movie in forever, but it was one of those. Well, the movie I'm referring to is Me, Myself, and Irene, by the way. Sorry. It was one of those movies that we had on DVD when I was growing up, and I used to watch it like, on loop just about. I would watch it pretty frequently. I don't know. Because, when you have movies in the house, you're going to end up watching the same movies over and over again because you don't have things on demand. So I used to watch this movie a lot. I used to watch Thank You, Stomach. I used to watch Shrek a lot. I also used to watch Bambi. Well, Bambi made me cry hysterically. Like, I was crying for Bambi. Bambi lost his mother. Bambi lost his mother in the. I'm like, yeah. Had me crying, screaming, and throwing up. Truly. I used to watch Nemo a lot too. Just keep swimming. Swimming. Swim. I feel like Ellen DeGeneres' voice goes so perfectly for the character of Dory. I almost said Dorothy there. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It just fits so well. To me, anyway. I don't know. Do you ever like watch something and feel and just think to yourself like, damn, the casting on this was perfect. Like everything on this was perfect. I don't know. It takes a bad movie to know a good movie, I feel like, because and vice versa. Definitely have said something along these lines before. But like every movie can be a good movie until you've seen a really bad one. And then it makes you like think back like, oh, you know what, maybe this movie was pretty similar too. Maybe it wasn't as good as I thought originally. My stomach has a lot to say today because she just growled again. Like, damn, let's take it easy. Maybe I should listen to my stomach and go have something to eat. But I'm only like 20 minutes in. Not even. Girl, Ooh, excuse me. Hunger burp. Get me off of Google. Rip me up the plastic I can burn. Is that what he says? I don't remember. I don't know. I don't know. If I could eat anything right now, honestly, I think it would be like a meatball sub. I haven't had a meatball sub in a hot minute. And it's not even anything like special or crazy. It's just meatballs on bread with marinara and cheese. But like a meatball sub can go hard. I don't know. In my head, I just said it's just bread and balls. How crazy can it be? Like, it's not crazy, but like, I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit of the nostalgia factor because meat, I don't know. I used to eat them not too frequently, not that it was something that I would make at home, but I do remember it was something that they used to serve at lunch at school. I think it was in as early as elementary school. But when they would serve it, I would take it because it's a meatball sub. It's meatballs and bread. How can you fuck it up? But school lunch isn't the best. But something is better than nothing. I also remember, oh my god, it was back in elementary school that they used to serve like the small little circle pizzas. Those things would bust. Them things would bust down. And pizza soup was also a thing. But I don't know. I feel, well, no. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was pizza soup, but it was just like tomato soup with pepperonis and cheese in it. I'm pretty sure that's all it was. But ooh, on them pizza soup days, I'll go crazy. And I think they would serve it with a breadstick too. I'm not 100% sure. Damn, I haven't thought about pizza soup in years. That's crazy. I think, sorry. I think, girl, make up your mind. I think the only time I had pizza soup was in elementary school. Maybe that was like a chef's special kind of thing. 'Cause I don't think I had pizza soup after that. But I would think about it sometimes because it's like, damn. Same thing with lasagna soup. I love lasagna soup. She's delicious. I've had her a couple times. I've never made it myself though. Because not that I get like necessarily intimidated, but it's just a lot. And me and cooking, we haven't really been vibing too much lately. There was a point or a time in my life where I would like genuinely enjoy cooking and I would make new dishes and things for me and my family. And it was fun. It was a nice time, but it was also a little bit exhausting with all the prep work and the cleaning and the huh, usually cleaning up before because I can't cook in dirty kitchen and sometimes the younger siblings don't clean up after themselves. So there would be the cleaning before, the prep work for the cooking, the actual cooking, and then serving and cleaning up everything after. And I would typically just do it all myself, even though I don't know. Sometimes there's a part of me that wants to like put my younger siblings to work because, like, hello, I cooked for you. Can you do the dishes at least, please? Thanks. But then it's also like, well, I did make this mess, so I might as well just clean it up myself, you know? Why even bother? But I don't know. It's a little bit of a toss up for me personally. But yeah, I've just been a little bit too lazy to cook because just thinking about like the cleaning and all that after, it's the dread for me. You ever get so lazy that you'd rather just starve instead of making yourself something to eat? Low key, me right now. That's why my stomach is so mad at me. How you gonna record a podcast episode on an empty stomach? Be fucking for real. And you know what? She is right because now I'm just talking about food and my laziness. Not necessarily ideal. Not necessarily ideal, if I do say so myself. And the lack of energy from the lack of nutrients is making me sleepy. Or maybe my body's just bored of me talking about this right now. Which honestly is valid. Like, I can't be mad at her for that. I really can't. But, yeah, that's that on that. I'm actually starting to get a little too hungry, so I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to take a little intermission because I'm starving like Marvin right now. That was quite the intermission that I had there. So as I said, I was getting a little bit too hungry because my talking points were all going towards food. So I was like, maybe I should listen to my body and have a meal. And so I did. But then I did also get a little bit sidetracked because a package came in and I was very exciting. I don't, I'm jumbling my words together. I also have gum in my mouth. I feel like I definitely should take it out because talking into a microphone with gum in my mouth doesn't sound very nice to listen to. And it's, I don't know, I wish that I could hear what I sound like in the moment. Oop, but not like from myself, like a little playback. Anyway, I need a studio. Somebody get me a studio, please. Ew, that's pretty gross. Sticking gum onto. Excuse me. Sticking gum onto like random surfaces because you're too lazy to find a trash can or like you just want the gum out of your mouth immediately, like, is truly disrespectful, if you ask me. Like, ew. What was the point? Just get up and go find a trash can. Truly and honestly. But anyway, yeah, I got quite sidetracked, but the TikTok shop got me. They got me good. I kept on seeing videos for this vacuum pet groomer, which essentially is a vacuum with either a brush or like a razor like clipper attachment. That's the word I was looking for. Clipper attachment at the end, so that way whatever hair you brush or cut off gets sucked into the vacuum. I've been anticipating this delivery for maybe like a week or so, and I wanted to use it so bad. And so I literally, as soon as it got brought up, I opened that box up and I started dismantling it. Well, not dismantling it. I started putting it together, rather, because dismantle is take apart. Silly goose. Anyway, I started to put it together and I turned it on to see how loud it was, to see if maybe like my pets would be scared because I do have a cat and a dog. So I was hoping to use it on both of them, like to cut my dog down and to brush some of the fur off my cat because she sheds a lot, but she low-key doesn't like to be brushed. Like, she'll tolerate it. Sometimes if you brush her a lot in one spot, like as if you're itching her, like scratching her with your hand, she likes that. But it's not necessarily the same as trying to brush the undercoat of fur off of her entire body, because if you get a little too like close to her belly or something, for example, she gets a little weary and she's like, oh, that felt weird. Brother, ugh. And so she'll try to run away. I was very excited for this package, like I had mentioned previously, and I wanted to try it out, but I made the mistake of like picking up my cat and bringing her to the vacuum thing, and I started with just like brushing her with like the brush attachment to try to get her like a little comfy to like kind of ease her way into it. Then I turned the vacuum on and she was not having it. She was scared. Her back like arched and her claws came out and she was ready to run, like fight or flight. She was flying. But in this attempt to escape, she also scratched my hand, and now I have probably like a 3-inch long gash in my thumb and the side of my hand. I don't know if it's actually 3 inches. I might just be exaggerating it a little bit, but it's a pretty long gash, and it's in like such an odd spot too. I did post a picture on my Snapchat story, so if you happen to see that, sorry, because not everyone is into blood. It did start to bleed, like, not immediately, but like, she legit slashed through the skin on my hand. It's a little outrageous. It is kind of long. I had to put 2 band-aids on it to cover it up, so it's a bit of a deep cut, but my blood like coagulated pretty fast, and I was a little scared at first, like, because usually, like, you get a cut and you start to bleed, and sometimes it'll bleed for a long time. Sometimes well, at least for me, anyway. Sometimes it'll bleed for a little bit, but like with this cut, she sliced my skin, and then slowly but surely the blood like came through. So she cut me with her sharp ass claws, which I do need to cut, but she doesn't like to cut her nails either. Anyway, her nails punctured my skin, and then like I was looking at it in shock and awe because I was like, no, please don't tell me, because I am low-key allergic to cats. So typically when I do get like a little bit of a scratch, because sometimes I'll pick her up, but then like my siblings or somebody will like run past and she'll get scared and she'll like dig her claws into me, and it'll puncture through my skin, but it won't just like puncture through and bleed a little bit, like a little puncture wound. It'll bleed and then swell up, like the surrounding area will swell up like a kind of like a pimple almost, but not full of pus, just swollen. So I was like waiting to see what my hand would do. It just eventually started to bleed a little bit, but like it didn't start to drip in blood. I was a little worried that it was going to start dripping in blood because it's a big cut. But once my blood like reached the surface, it just kind of coagulated, like it got thick and just stayed on the top. It was a little strange, but my platelets did what they had to do. Point blank period. Although it did freak me out a little bit because I was like, why isn't the blood moving? But also I did kind of keep my hand like steady in the same spot so the blood wouldn't drip if it was going to, but it didn't. It hardly left the cut, the area of the cut. It scared me a little bit. I did Google. But I think it's just my body doing what she needs to do, making her natural band-aid. And truly we love to see it because some people have trouble like getting the blood to stop coming out. Like, and that's also scary. Like, imagine bleeding out from like a paper cut. Well, I feel like it would take a long time to bleed out from a paper cut. But for the people whose bodies like have trouble, excuse me, for the people whose bodies have trouble making like their own band-aid, like one paper cut could be their last. How dramatic is that? But also, like, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. That's why bleed stop is a thing. Like, to get the blood to stop flowing. So that bitch to stop. She did also puncture me on my leg a little bit because I was sitting on the floor, crisscross applesauce, and she was kind of on the floor in front of me in my hand because my cat is pretty small, I feel like. Small enough for me to comfortably pick her up in one hand, but 2 hands is what I would use to keep her comfy. But when she was running away, I think it was like her back claw that punctured my leg. So There's that. And that entire experience kind of turned me off. I was like, you know what? I guess today's not the day that I'm going to give my dog a haircut because now I have this massive gash on my hand and it just doesn't feel very sanitary to do. I'll have to buy some gloves or something just for precaution's sake because it's a germy world out there and I don't want to get no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I'm not even gonna say it out loud. But yeah, I was so excited for that package to come in so I could give my dog a nice little spring haircut and make him look real cute and fluffy. Well, he wouldn't be so fluffy anymore because I'd cut his hair down, his winter coat, cut that thing off. But I was excited. I was like, you know what? Let's see what this thing is about. I keep seeing like TikTok after TikTok about this machine and how good it is, and it seems to do what it needs to do. So I was hoping I could do that today, but it's okay. I still have it. I'll just have to use it another day. And if I do like it, who knows? Maybe I was gonna say maybe I'll make a TikTok about it, but maybe by the time I actually do get to test it out, TikTok will actually be gone because they do want to ban TikTok, like for real, for real. But didn't they attempt this a couple times? Or was that just like not a fluff, but like what's the word I'm looking for? A bluff. What the I said fluff instead of bluff. How silly am I? Anyway, were they just bluffing then the other two times, or did it just not pass for them to be like, yeah, we're actually going to ban it? I haven't been really keeping up with it. I remember they voted on it like last Wednesday or something if they wanted to ban it or keep it. Majority of the vote was for the ban, I'm afraid. Um, but I don't really know what the steps are moving forward. Like, what's the next thing? Who's it moving to next? Who's voting on it next? Or if it's just like, okay, how are we going to put this into motion? I haven't been keeping up, truly. But it does, like, it makes me a little bit sad, not gonna lie, because I've spent a lot of time on TikTok. I've learned so much on TikTok, both useful and not necessarily so useful, just in like a gossipy kind of sense. Because, you know, people talk all the time. People just like me. I'm just a girl. I'm just talking, chit chatting, and yapping, however you want to say it. It doesn't really matter. It's pretty much all the same. Just talking. And people will talk about whatever interests them, and sometimes it's gossip. Celebrity gossip, local news, global news. There's so much to learn and share on TikTok. So, yeah, it is a bit of a saddening thing to lose a social media app like that. Cuz how how do you I was gonna say, how do you lose a social media app? Like, come on, guys. Like, are they gonna ban TikTok and then try to create their own app that's like TikTok? I don't think the algo can rhythm, but is the algorithm really gonna be able to be replicated in such a good way? I don't know. I don't know. Only time will tell. But as of right now, I don't have an answer. I guess that's not really something for me to decide anyway. It's just kind of like a wait and see. But yeah, that's that. It's a tragedy, really. I just keep looking at the band-aids on my hand. And like, I'm so sad. But you live and you learn, I guess. It'll heal in time. Will I be left with the scar? Only time will tell. We shall see. I mean, our hands are full of like lines and wrinkles and things anyway because of how mobile they are. Well, is that why? Is that why, or is that just happen to be like a correlation? I feel like that's why our hands have so many lines and grooves and things on them. Like, if you look at the palms of your hands, there's like well, on your fingers, there's the creases for your joints, and then also the major creases in your hands for like, I don't know, folding your hand kind of thing. At least that's what I would describe the motion that I'm doing right now. Or like balling your hand up into a fist. There's more creases there. I don't know. It'll blend right in. It'll be a strange little crease on the side of my thumb. I'm glad it's at least on my left hand and not my right, because my right hand is my dominant hand. And my left hand, she's just not as talented as the right. So it's okay. I still use her every day. I mean, yeah, she's that girl. That's my hand. There's gonna be some use made out of her, but she's not the main character on my body. What a way to refer to my left hand. Anyway, she does have her little tricks though. Like there are just some things that I do with my left hand and not my right, and some things I do with my right hand and not my left. Like writing, I'm a right-handed gal, which like I said, so I write with my right hand. I eat with my right hand. I pick most things up with my right hand too. But my left hand, she's got grip. She can hold a lot of things too. Like I'm a one trip wonder kind of gal. And so when necessary, whether it's bringing groceries or moving things from one room to another or whatever the case may be, the less trips the better. I'd rather struggle a little bit in carrying the stuff over as opposed to going back and forth multiple times. That's just me. I will carry 3 cases of water up the stairs. It's fine. But don't make me have to go up and down 3 times to bring up 3 cases of water. That's kind of ridiculous. But yeah, she does her thing, but she's just not utilized as often as my right hand. But that's okay. We all have our uses and our talents. And imagine if we all had the same talent, like how would anything get accomplished, really? Like imagine if everyone wanted to be a chef. Yes, everyone wants to cook and eat food, but like where are we going to get the food? How are we going to grow the food? Are you going to also be a gardener, or are you just going to chef it up? Diversity. We love to see it, truly. But I'm still so sad that my hand's all cut up. I'm being a little dramatic saying that it's cut up, but she is sliced. And like I said, it's in like such a random spot. It's just about on the groove of the side of my thumb. I'll have to in case you're interested, I'll have to like post a picture of it on my Twitter or something. Cause what the fuck? If you wanna see, It looked a little gross with the blood on top. You can see there's some fur on my hand too. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Today drained me. What a day already. And it's only 2 p.m. Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this. If you know, you know. And if you don't, look it up. It's funny. If you ask me. If you ask me. Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this. RIP Vine. That video was so random but iconic. If you don't know what I'm referring to, there's this Vine of like 2 guys. They were just kind of sitting in a room, I think. And I think one was playing guitar, and the one that was recording just randomly went and punched the other guy in the face. But they were 2 British guys, and I think at least one of them was, because the guy that got punched was like, "Oh fuck, I can't believe you done this." And the caption that I remember seeing was like, "This is so Was it like this is so British? I'm questioning myself as if there's anyone here to fact check me anyway, but it was something along those lines. And it was so funny to me at the time. Like, it's not as funny now because I'm explaining it and it's been so long. Like, I'd have to, like, actually look at it, but after actually, that actually, I would have to actually rewatch it to feel the laughter. Fuck off. I don't know. Oh, fuck. I can't believe you done this. Because imagine sitting in a room with your friend and then them not accidentally, they're purposely, it's randomly. That's the word I was looking for. Imagine sitting in a room just vibing with your friend and they prop up their phone, start recording, and then just punch you in the face. Like, what? Thinking back on it now, it really doesn't seem real. Like, what possessed you to do that? Like, at all? Really? Truly, honestly. Let's be for real. Let's be honest. You can be honest. This is a safe space. I say that in like the most judgmental tone ever. No, but truly, where are they now? Who are those guys? And now I'm just gonna put myself in a little rabbit hole. Oh, fuck. I can't believe you done this. Oh, but see, when you put in curse words into the Google search bar, the results just turn up blank. My life as a meme. I can't believe you done this. Revisited. It's been nearly 14 years. Wait, wait. Vice did an article in November 2007, an entirely contextless video of me being punched in the face. It was wait, wait. Sorry, because the way that I finished reading that sentence, just about, but then my brain caught up and was like, wait, 2007? Vine was not around in 2007. I just remember seeing the video on Vine. This article is published by Vice. It was published June 21st, 2021, summer solstice, right? I think it's the summer solstice. Somewhere around there. Anyway, damn. An entirely contextless. Jesus. Gotta work on the enunciation a little bit. Let's turn on the narrator voice and read this article aloud because why not? Okay. In November 2007, an entirely contextless video of me being punched in the face went viral. You might have seen it. It still does the rounds every couple of months, often when something notably. The sirens distracted me a little bit. Those cop cars are zooming. I'm gonna wait for them to pass by. Give me a minute. Sorry. Okay. It still does the rounds every couple of months, often when something notably notable. How are you gonna be a narrator when you can't even read? I know how to read. It's fine. It still does the rounds every couple of months, often when something notable. Notably, I keep on wanting to say notably. Notably, like I'm adding an extra B in there. Where's the B? There's a B. Anyway, that was another Vine reference. If you know, you know. Often when something notable. Come on! What the fuck? Often when something notably bad happens that warrants a response of disbelief. In these strange times, it's managed to remain endlessly precedent. And another fucking cop car. Come on, can we pass on by already? Get your ass over here. Oh, it's a fire truck this time. Oh my goodness. What is going on? And the ambulance too? What's going on? I hope everyone is okay. This is a little bit of a long article. Why did I click on this? Because no, but 2007 is still crazy. I was 7 years old, and oh, this really goes all into who this is. Oh, it's the guy. I can't believe you've done this to the planet. Oh, wait. The author of the Bristol climate change protest in September 2019. Interesting. Oh, it was a skit. Okay, so the headline of this, I guess, I don't know what to call it. I don't know how to read. I do know how to read. But it says the truth is that nearly a decade and a half later, I'm still processing it. The clip that people have come to know started out as an aimless skit filmed in summer 2006. We hadn't planned anything, least of all me being punched. In the footage building up to the event, I pushed him off the chair. He fell and hit his head on the filing cabinet off camera. Rather than react to Tim, I sat down and proceeded to ad-lib something that I'd ventured to guess would have been considerably less funny than the act of violence that followed. Unprompted, Tim upsided me, and I reacted with an inexplicable, completely incredulous response, which has followed me online ever since. Incredulous. Incredulous. I've never heard that word before. I've never seen that word before. Incredulous. What does that even mean? Word of the day? Incred. Am I even pronouncing it right? Incredulous. Incredulous. In parentheses, it's an adjective. In parentheses, of a person or their manner. In parentheses. Unwilling or unable to believe something. An incredulous. An incredulous gasp. Did you like that gasp? Shut the fuck up. That's kind of hard. Incredulous. 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 So instead of credulous, like pronouncing the D, it sounds more like a J. Incredulous. Ja. Incredulous. Completely incredulous response, which has followed me online ever since. I mean, poor thing. Is it really the worst thing to be known for, though? Like, oh, fuck, I can't believe you've done this. I mean, it is pretty random. Like, how you get punched in the face and that's your response? Oh, fuck, I can't believe you've done this. I mean, I wouldn't believe it either if it's random, just in a skit. Maybe they just improv. Improv. Punch someone in the face. The fuck is that about, man? And then a real fight breaks out. I can see it in my head. The vision is there. That is quite the response, though. Quite the response. Damn. R.I.P. Vine. Literally just 6 seconds of randomness. And now she's gone forever. Does the Vine app like even exist? That was something that they took out of the App Store, right? Remember when Vine 2 was gonna be a thing? Like, yeah, no, Vine does not exist on the App Store. R.I.P. R.I.P. to the girl you used to be. Is that? I don't know what the lyrics are. I didn't intend on going so hard on like the history of that Vine, I guess. but it's kind of interesting, really. I mean, there's a lot of words in this article because Vice legitimately like interviewed him. It seems my voice kind of like died at the end. Oops. Because there's a lot to scroll through, and I didn't really read the whole thing. I read the very first paragraph, and then I scrolled through, and then I read that headline and the paragraph that followed it, which essentially is all the information I was looking for. So shout out to my brain for being able to scoop that out of all of this. But it's I think it would be an interesting read to see how it like affected him because all it takes is one viral clip really, and like people's lives change forever. Whether it's seen as good or bad really depends on the situation itself or the person even, because like I've said before, what's good for one person isn't necessarily good for another or good for all really. So excuse me. So like, to each their own, and that's okay. Because if we were all the same, it would be pretty boring and we wouldn't necessarily function so well. Like, we all have our place, we all do our things. Although there are a lot of bad people out there that could be making things better, but slow and steady, I guess. Just gotta lead by example. And maybe someone else will follow, and someone else will follow them, and then them, and so on and so forth. It's what I hope anyway. But I got a fortune yesterday, actually. Damn, hold on. I took a picture of it. So I'm gonna read it aloud. So I got Chinese food, and even though fortune cookies are like an American thing, like I can still enjoy like a little bit of wisdom or silly goose stuff, whatever. Like it's why did I start that sentence with like? Ew. I still find it intriguing to see what's on the little piece of paper inside the cookie. Because me and my sweet tooth like a little sweet treat after a meal. So even if like here I go again with the word like, I've become aware of how frequently I say that word, that now when I say it aloud, I notice it immediately, it throws me off. It bothers me. But that's besides the point. Um, I enjoy a sweet treat after a savory meal, so it's nice to have a little something to munch on, to enjoy, and to see like what the words from inside the cookie have to say. Because they're all so random. Sometimes I don't know, sometimes they're inspirational, sometimes they'll give like a little fun fact, some like a little not like a Snapple kind of fun fact though. That's a different little universe. Anyway, universe, that's its own little section. I don't really know. But either way, I find it intriguing to see what the cookie has to say. One, because I ordered food and it came with two cookies. One of the fortunes read, example is not the main thing in influencing others, it is the only thing. So you have to lead by example for others to follow. Because people can only copy what they see. So if they don't see you doing that thing that you're saying and preaching about, then they're not going to copy that thing that you're saying and preaching about because you're not doing it for them to be able to copy it, you know? But yeah, the other fortune that I got, the other fortune that I got reads, before the beginning of great brilliance, there must be chaos. Which ties in to the song that I was singing in the beginning of the episode, After the Storm. After the storm is when the flowers bloom. 'Cause after the storms, when the flowers bloom, and the storm is chaotic, crazy, messy, but then once it's over, the beauty and delight comes in. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. It's so funny and ironic to me how my podcast episodes will sometimes kind of like have that full circle moment. Sometimes I don't notice it like in the moment while I'm recording, and I'll notice it after the fact like while I'm editing, but I still think it's so funny. Like, what are the odds? It was just meant to be that way, I guess. Pretty cool. With that being said, I'm going to wrap up today's episode here. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope this found you well. May you enjoy the rest of your day. Until next time, bye.